Hello, I'm Debbie Bell Hosking for Finextra TV at Sibos 2025 in Frankfurt, and I'm joined by Jacob Aruldhas, CEO of ECS Fin, and we're going to be talking about the benefits of a transaction-centric approach to message-based communications. So Jacob, a big welcome here to our Sibos studio.
Thank you.
We're talking here about having a more transaction-centric approach. But before we get to that, can I ask you about what are the challenges and inefficiencies you're currently seeing in transaction processing?
So in our practice, what we have come across is many department-centric applications. I think we had a tendency of automating what we saw rather than looking at the big picture to see what we need to accomplish. So if we take payments processing as an example, sometimes we see more than 100 systems. There is a system for receiving certain instructions, another system for validation, another for compliance. Then even after we decide that which channel should be used, so many different applications for each channel. And then when the settlement happens, there is no knowledge about how much money we have in each account. So a lot of these things are difficulties for operations as well as cash management. So when we have too many systems handling a little bit of the processing, and then we have to find very expensive integration tools that will make these systems talk to each other. We have a lot of systems and every system is doing very little to the overall transaction processing process. And the limitations and the issues that faced with it are many. Sometimes the technology department is happy that they have accomplished the goals, but when we go and sit with the operations team, then we see a lot of concerns, and then we go to cash management, then they are completely lost.
My goodness, I'm just getting this image of like loads of systems, many layers and communications. So you've set the scene of the challenges. How would you suggest we approach in terms of solving these issues?
So after having undertaken so many very expensive projects where we keep buying applications from several vendors and trying to put all of them to talk to each other and facing frustrations after spending so much months and sometimes years and millions of dollars, we finally decided that there should be a better way of addressing this, and we, instead of going at every department and trying to automate what each department is trying to do, we decided to look at the transaction as the subject and not look at department as a subject. So when we change focus from a department to the transaction, then each department become a service provider to the transaction rather than the applications becoming a service provider to the departments. So that change of focus made a lot of impact in the industry, and we were able to accomplish a lot with very little. We see that we are able to get sign-off not only from technology departments but from operations and cash management departments. When we do simple payments or trade processing or whatever transactions we do, we are able to see large benefits being reported from our customers.
Sounds like almost a change of mindset has helped to streamline the process somewhat. But here's a question to you. What about the benefits of an integrated platform that is more transaction-centric?
So we try to look at message administration in slightly differently also. When it comes to message-based communication, we try to see that there is a message administration layer, and then there is a transaction processing layer. Then we are also able to see an account management layer. So if we are able to give due diligence to all these three requirements, then we do not really need a lot of systems, and we don't need to do a lot of after processing, end of the day processing, end of the week processing. We don't need all that. What we are trying to do is look at every message as an integral part of a transaction only. The focus continue to be on the transaction. Messages may enter, messages may leave, individuals may try to interact, We may add information to it. And even if a certain response didn't come back in a certain time, we are not relying on a response, but we are relying on the status of the transaction. So that the transaction itself should complain or request attention if a certain message didn't make it to the transaction. So the accountability level is very high. So for every transaction that gets initiated, the system will make sure that it should go into completion. And if it doesn't, then it will call the appropriate department, whether it is technology or operations or compliance. The responsibility relies on the transaction to call these departments to work on it.
And as ECS Fin, what are you doing in this space?
We are first helping organizations to understand how they can look at the whole processing differently. And we sometimes do some whiteboard sessions with their architectural team and help them to see the benefits also to the operations and various departments of the organization. So we are helping them maybe in a few days or in a couple of weeks. We are able to show them show them how if they change this concept, they can benefit a lot. And then it's kind of like a re-engineering track. So the customers who have decided to give us an opportunity and take a chance to work on this, they have gone to the process of calling themselves lean and efficient. They are able to scale up their business. They're able to do customer onboarding very quickly and become market leaders in that specific line of business. So as a highlight, I would like to say that one of our customers who is using our enterprise message hub for message administration, our transaction processing platform for payments related activities, and our treasury related modules, they have been receiving award from the largest custodian globally for reaching 99.9% STP since 2015. Yeah.
Well, that's quite an accolade in itself. And I must say, Jacob, it's been really interesting to hear your insights on transaction processing. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me here. Okay.